I'm Caroline.
Hey, I'm Leah.
And this is Happiness and Champagne. Welcome back.
Yes, ma'am. Boy, that water tastes good.
It really does. So, remember when we first met?
I was in middle school.
I was in high school.
And I had a crush on a boy in English.
And I was actually dating him because I was actually dating the whole family. And and so I was dating him because he was sort of a product of the whole family. And the family is crazy fun. Crazy, crazy fun. 8 of them. They were part of someone that was in the government that had 8 children. And I actually learned to drive very young because their parents were always at functions in DC. And they taught me to drive a stick shift really young, maybe 13, 14 years old. So this day, my boyfriend at the time, or whatever you want to call him.
Had a crush on, introduces us.
Yeah, no, he says, hey, Caroline, can you come pick me up from school? And I come, I steal my father's car. Well, not steal it, I borrowed it. Underage, no license, and I come to the middle school, and he's like, oh, hi, meet my friend Leah. Can you give her a ride home because she's missed the bus?
I won't tell you where I live, but I live down windy road.
And it was like a good 15, 20 minutes away. Easily. And I had to drive my father's car at 15, no license, there and back. And we did it. It was fun. But I was like, that was crazy. But that was the beginning of a lot.
So, do you remember when we borrowed your brother's Camaro? I think it had a 455 engine in it, and it was a 3-speed. And we were on an incline, and you didn't know how to drive a stick shift. So I'm just like, accelerate and let off the clutch.
But it was every stick shift's different.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was like torque.
Yeah, it was torque. Yeah. So I accelerated, and I burned. It was so fast. I burned rubber through that parking lot. And we were like, yes. But we didn't want my brother to find out.
No. No. And then, so getting back to the family. Yeah. It was a snowy evening. It was an evening. The roads were closed down because the roads were treacherous and bad. We were riding around in a station wagon, no seat belts, packed. You got the suicide seat in the back, it was packed, and then the back seat. And we roll up to Jack in the Box. And you and one of the sisters decide as we go through the drive-in that you're going to moon the employee through the drive-in. So that was the beginning of our mooning episodes.
A mooning stage that actually lasted a very long time.
When we were going to the Rolling Stones concert in your Mustang, you had just gotten a Mustang, and you named her Brown Sugar. And we were following the Rolling Stones. But prior to that, we were on our way to the concert, and there was a vehicle that pulled up next to us. And you said, moon them. So I did. And then I went, oh my gosh, I think I showed more than I should have. And sure enough, the car pulls up next to us.
It shows way too much. And it was just like, anyhow, so we went through a big mooning stage. I would say that we were fun, wild, crazy, but we were always nice. Like we didn't, we had wild, crazy fun, but we didn't hurt anyone.
Okay, so hold on.
What?
So one other mooning story. So I meet my husband, and it's the first few dates that we're on, and his sister. We're going out to have dinner with his sister and her friends. And I get this great idea that it would be so funny to moon his sister. And the group in the car. I thought it was just funny because I just thought it was just something everybody did.
Yeah, so I actually had a really bad situation with the moon. I don't know why, but I decided to moon my coworkers. we were on a business trip in Florida, and I decided that me and 2 other coworkers should moon the van behind us with all the other coworkers. But supposedly, I mooned too long. And it became a really big problem. No one would talk to me. And I was like, well, there were 2 other mooners, but I guess my my bottom was up there a little bit too long, and there were a lot of disgusted people, and I just thought, well, loosen up, but it did affect me. It affected the whole next day, and I'm asking my best friend coworkers, "Did you see too much? What's going on here?" They're like, well, and yeah. So rumor had it that I mooned too long, and it was really uncomfortable. So I came home and told my good friends that I mooned my coworkers, and that's the end of my mooning career because they said, "Why in the world would you moon your coworkers?" And I thought,
Because it
why?
was so funny. Why
Why
not?
not?
Yeah.
But again, I was like 29 years old.
Maybe we should get back into mooning.
I know,
And then
man.
I could find a man.
Moon your way to a man's heart. Yeah, so the mooning had to stop, but that was really fun meeting you then. But I hadn't really, so we saw each other a couple times, but then it was a couple of years in between. Because if you think about it, I didn't see you again until you were in high school.
So it wasn't a couple years. It was the following year. I was in 8th grade at the time.
Okay. Oh, it was the following year, and then I was in sophomore year. No, I might have been a junior.
Yeah, you were 2 years ahead of me.
Okay, so I think it was a year and a half later, and we actually were at a party, and I recognized you, and you were with a girl I actually went to school with for all the way through elementary school, but she was too cool for me, so she didn't really talk to me. No, she just had her own things going on, and you were hanging out with her, and started talking about our boots,
Yes.
Colorado
Colorado boots.
That's going to age us, but that was like
Yeah.
the thing in the 80s.
It was either the Colorado boots or those fuzzy boots because that's what she had on.
Yeah, she had the fuzzy boots,
Yes.
but they weren't like Uggs or anything. They were whatever was in. And I just don't even know how I got my parents to actually agree to pay for them, but I probably like, please, please, please. But I had the Colorado boots on, and we met in the kitchen of
Yes.
this party, and we started talking, and I think we were having a few beers, and then we all said, "Oh, you got Colorados, I have this." And that was the beginning of the beginning of a great relationship with a bunch of girls.
The jelly roll.
So much fun. And right after that, within a week, I think we went and saw ZZ Top. I remember picking up
I went with
Midge and-
Missy.
Oh, you
I
went with-
was with Missy in that was 8th grade. So 8th grade, we're at the Capitol Center at the ZZ Top concert, and it's Missy and I sitting alone. And then we're on our way home, and we're in this van, and we get pulled over. I have a picture. I got out of the van because I thought it would just be so cool to take a picture of the police officers in the car. But you know what? Back then, it was a whole different.
Well, you always had your
situation.
camera on you.
And I
Always
did.
had your camera on you.
I
yeah.
have so many photos.
And I
of her
always had my
growing up.
camera on me until that guy ripped off all my photos. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, we won't get into that. What you lost, I have.
Yeah,
probably,
exactly.
right?
Maybe. Yeah.
So here we go. We're in high school. I'm a freshman. You're a junior.
Yes, and then we started hanging out. But I remember I went back to a ZZ Top concert, and Midge joined us. And then her parents were out of town, so she had a party at her house, like within a week of meeting. And we were like, "Oh, this is great! We get to go party at someone's house with, when the parents are out of town. That's the best." But yeah, that's exactly how we met, and it sort of just kept going and going, and actually went on until you got married.
Right.
And then we had a break because Leah became instant mom.
I always said add water and stir because I had 2 children at the time.
Yeah. So she married with 2 kids, and she became instant mom, and she
Imagine that.
she had to leave her wild side behind, which I remember because I would still hang out with your brother.
I was getting ready to say I
Yeah.
passed along my brother to
Yes,
fill in
and
my
we
spot.
love her brother. And I'd always say, "What is up with Leah? Why won't she hang out with her?" "Oh, well, Leah's busy." Like, well, so what? I'm busy too. Why won't she hang out with us?
One thing I do remember with my daughter is, we were splitting custody, and I used to take her horseback riding with me. So I was riding Tennessee Walkers, and I would take her and show her how to groom the horses, and then she and I would ride, and then I'd bring my dog with me, the Border Collie. Loved my first
Yeah.
Border Collie. But that was fun, and those are memories that she'll always have. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that with my own yet.
We're big campers, and we've been camping through the years. We were just talking about it. We were spelunkers, and not me.
Spelunkers are caving.
Yes.
You get in a cave with a helmet and you climb around these dark.
And I tried, but I just can't do it. I'm a scuba diver, but for some reason going into caves, I can't do it. But Leah, she'll put on everything she needs to do and go into a cave until you went into that one cave where it was a vertical drop, I guess, or no, you had to go through a really narrow channel and you started.
No, what happened?
Yeah.
Sorry, it was there was a group of us, and my brother was a couple people behind me, and then my two best guy friends were in front of me, behind me, and regardless, we weren't being safety issues were thrown out the window. We had no ropes, we had no backup, so we're going between two rocks. Our feet are pushed against the rocks. And I didn't have any footing. And so I took my helmet and I looked down thinking, if I were to fall and slip, how far would I go? Well, of course, you can't see anything and you've got bats all above you. And so I thought, the risk taker that I am, I got a little nervous and I wanted to turn around and go back, but I couldn't just turn around and go back. I had to turn the whole group around, which was what, like 20 of us, maybe 15 of us.
Yes, and it was a slow process to get you, because by then mentally you had gotten scared.
No, I was fine.
Oh, you were fine?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a hard return.
No. We just all turned around and went back.
Okay, good.
But I never got invited to go caving, splunking again after that. You know, I mean, at that point in time, we had splunked. I don't know. I'd probably been in 6 caves at that point.
Yeah.
So
and it was a great spelunking group, and we would have annual parties and bands and saunas.
Remember when you were going to college and your college group took a ski trip to Quebec?
Yes.
And I met that fella from your school, and I came back to West Virginia and we went spelunking with him.
Was he the brunette? What was his name?
I want to say Joe.
I want to say Joe, something like Joe or Jeff, the J name. Yeah. He was very cute. I remember that.
And we walked in this field and he's like, okay, here it is. We're going to go down in this hole. And I'm like, wait, what? There's a hole in the ground. We're just going to drop on into the hole and go spelunking. So we did that.
Yeah. And do you remember on that trip to Quebec when we stopped we were starving and we were on a bus. So there was a whole bunch of us on the bus and we were having the best time on the bus. At least we were. I don't know about the people who went on this trip in the front of the bus, but we were having a blast in the back.
The back of the bus was
crazy.
Energy.
But they stopped because everyone wanted McDonald's. And there was the longest lines. I know. There was the longest lines to get into McDonald's. So Leah and I were like, well, gosh, I don't want to wait in this line. And Leah's like, Caroline, sit in this high chair. Let's go through the drive-through. And so I sat in the high chair. Remember, we were rolling back and forth.
I have a picture of that.
Rolling back and forth. And then it dinged. And then we ordered. And then we came up to the window in the high chair. And then our whole group was like, how'd you get your food?
We went through the drive-through in a high chair. I do. I've got a picture of you, and you've got the grimace. Wasn't that the purple?
Yes.
Was it the grimace? No, the Hamburglar or something.
Yeah. Oh, because I put on the little kid.
You had the little bib on.
You know, one of the best memories I have of Quebec was, for some reason, Leah and I went out to a bar alone. I don't know where he was my boyfriend at the time, but he probably wanted to do something else. But we went to this great bar. I'll never forget it. Every table had a telephone, old-fashioned telephone, and a number with a light. And every table, and you could actually look over and say, oh, those boys are cute on number 12. And you could call from your telephone, and their lights would blink. And they would answer, but they never knew who was calling.
Okay, hold on. We never made a phone call.
No.
Our phone was ringing.
And then the light broke. But we got a lot of drinks.
And being in Quebec, being in Canada, I love hockey.
Yeah.
And so it was like when you met a guy and they liked hockey and they're like, yeah, I play hockey. And I'm like, smile. How many teeth are you missing?
So true.
So many good times.
Speaking of hockey, let's make the next episode about your second date.
Oh.
After your divorce.
Yes.
Next time.
We can talk about that on the next podcast.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Happiness
And
and
champagne.
champagne.